Hi everyone, I am so sorry for how long it has taken me to do another video. I really do apologise for how long it's taken me. We've had a bit of construction going on in my room. We're getting some bookshelves done. It's my first ever bookshelves, and these are the two work in progress. I put books on them already, but anyway, that is why I've been taking so long, and I'm really sorry for how long it has taken. I can't wait for these being, and then show you all the finished progress. It's going to be so exciting. Okay, so getting started, we will be talking about my January TBR, right? Right. I'm going to throw you down here. I know this is going to be like a bit of an awkward angle, but it'll be fine. One of the books I read in January was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, and oh my god. This put me in a right book hangover, because I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, how I was going to react. Basically, this young girl here, her name's Olive, and her best friend was in love with her ex. Like, had a crush on her ex, but didn't want to do anything because of girl code. So she ends up turning around and kissing the first person that she told her friend, I'm going on a date, all this, even though she wasn't. Her friend turned up at the science lab where she was, even though she was supposedly on a date. So she turned around to the first person who was in the corridor, and it just so happened to be someone by the name of Adam Carlson. And the story goes on from there. There's fake dating trope, there is the it's not exactly one bed trope, but it's forced proximity trope, because there's two beds in one room. But yeah, you'll understand. And there's a lot more of the forced proximity thanks to Olive's friend. It is definitely such a good book. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars because it needs its own place. Like, literally, it is such a good book, and I cannot wait for the rest of her books to come out. I am just... the next book I read was Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. This was an ARC copy sent to me by Harper 360. It is such a good book. It's by the same author of Written in the Stars. This is the third book in the Written in the Stars series, but it can be read as a standalone. I personally haven't read the other books, but after reading this, I most certainly will. So we follow Olivia and Margot, who knew each other in a previous life, you know, back in high school. They knew each other, and now they bump into each other again. Drama unfolds, and a lot of other stuff unfolds, but you get into that when you read this. This was definitely another 5 out of 5 stars for me. I just cannot talk about it. And there's such banter going on between all the characters. I love banter in books. It's just, it brings it all together, you know, and it's just so good. I definitely recommend it. I read this book too. I loved it. I did love it. But I also didn't like some aspects of it. The relationship between Alex and Henry was really good, but I did feel like there was no plot to it, and it did lack in quite a few bits. I did like the book, I did, and I'm not putting down the author or anything, because I did enjoy the book. I just felt like there could have been more. Not of the relationship, there's plenty of their relationship, but I would have liked to know more about the characters and the background, and more about the actual story itself, because I felt like there was just no plot, and towards the very end of the book everything was just rushed together and you didn't know what was going on. That could just be me, unpopular opinion, I'm afraid. But yeah, I did rate this 4 out of 5 stars. As I said, I did like the book, but there were just a few aspects that I didn't enjoy thoroughly or as much as I wanted to. Another thing about it was I was told it was a light-hearted read. So I went in expecting no steamy scenes or anything like that. There were steamy scenes. I probably should have done more research, but on all the reviews I had seen, a lot of them were like, oh, it's a light-hearted book, you know, it's very easy to read. It is light in a sense, and it is easy to read. But there is a few steamy scenes that I just wasn't mentally prepared for going into this book. All in all, though, I did love Alex and Henry. Their relationship was so cute, and oh my god, them emails to each other, Perfect. The next book I read was a popular release, which is The Maid by Nita Prose. And this book was actually quite very interesting. It's kind of hard to explain. There's a murder in the background. Well, not exactly in the background, but in my eyes, I did see it as being more in the background. And we're mainly focusing on the main character of Molly, who is the maid. And she sees things and hears things, she's not supposed to. One thing though, like, it's not confirmed or it hasn't been denied, but I personally felt while reading this that Molly could be on the autism spectrum. It's just what made more sense to me. She couldn't comprehend feelings or what was going on kind of around her. Like, she knew, but she didn't know at the same time. And it was mostly like the feelings, the fact that she didn't know how to express them or how to identify them aside from each other. But basically there was a murder that goes on of one of the VIP residents in the hotel, and Molly found the body. And it all unwinds from there, and there's a lot in it that is just, I definitely really enjoyed this. I'm not sure if it was a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. But it's really good. I did really like it, and I really admire Nita Prose's style of writing, and this was definitely a really good debut novel. The next book I read was something that was completely off topic, and that is Power Hour by Adrienne Herbert. And this book is literally life-changing. It says that it's life-changing there. It is. But it definitely makes you think of life in a completely different way. And it's just really enlightening, and it was just such a good book. And I definitely recommend it. It's a non-fiction book, and it's just kind of, it's not telling you how to go about your life, but it's kind of giving you pointers, and it's really inspiring. And this is definitely a book I would be passing on to some family members to read as well. It is such a short read, so it's definitely a good book to just throw in if you wanted to build up your reading goal. And this is definitely one of them books that you can just throw in and actually be inspired by, and you really like it, because I personally did. The last book I read was an ebook. I read it on my Kindle here, and that is The Trust by M.H. Eccleston, and it is a cozy small town murder mystery. Again, I did feel like the murders were just part of the background, and I didn't really like that in this kind of story, as I just felt they were just pushed out of the way, even though like it was part of the story, because the main character was interfering and she was trying to solve these murders, because she ends up being in the center of them. She tries to solve them, and things exactly don't go her way. But at the same time, because like it's more than one murder, it's a string of murders. And the first murder, I just felt like it was pushed aside. They were focusing on this murder, and I don't know, I didn't like how it was just all pushed away to the one side. I did enjoy it. I did. It was just the fact that they were all just pushed aside, like, oh, this happened, and we're going to look into it, but it happened. That's it. And they are the 6 books I read in January. I do think I did pretty well this month, and I'm quite happy with how many I read. 6 is quite a good number. So I am quite very happy with what I read. And that is all for this video. They are all the books I read in January, and that is my whole January wrap up, all wrapped up in one video. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you like this video, there's a like button down below, as well as a comment section if you ever want to comment anything. It could be something as simple as a book rec, or maybe what you thought of any of the books that I've read this month. There's also the subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. Just pointing it out there. Thank you for watching if you got this far, and I hope to see you next time I post a video. Bye!